Hello and welcome to the show. I'm here on Forza Horizon 2 with a challenge. Today I'm going to be looking at some of the cars that came in the Fast and Furious DLC for this game. We now have the cars in the main game. There's some good selection of vehicles to choose from. They start off as pre-modified or sort of pre-modified. You can customize the cars, you can paint them and everything, unlike in the standalone version where you couldn't touch them. You can now customize them and paint them and so on, but they kind of start off pre-modified. This Charger, for example, it starts off in S1 class with 900 horsepower and however much weight. I can't remember how much the weight starts off, about 3,600 I think. And then you can kind of modify on top of that, which means you can get some very powerful cars. The Charger, unfortunately and slightly disappointingly, you can't modify the engine. You can't get any more power than 900 horsepower out of this, which is a little bit of a shame because that makes it one of the least powerful cars that we have to play. And it's very weird saying 900 horsepower is the least powerful car, but it's one of the lesser powerful vehicles when you come to modifying it. And of course you can put on your tyres and your tyre widths and so on. I mean, it starts off with it starts off with, I guess, racing tyres. I don't know, they don't look like racing tyres. That they're not full on slicks, but you can put on the Storm Island off-roady bits if you want. But these are the tyres, the best tyres that it can come with, so we're going with that. And tyre widths, of course, we have the humongous tyre widths on the back as you get with most muscle cars. I decided I want to do a little challenge, a little test with these vehicles though, because as I said, there are some incredibly powerful cars. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take 3 of the most powerful and take them around the tightest is a new word, the tightest and twistiest track that I could find and see which one comes out on top. We're going to use the Charger first off as a benchmark, if you like. So this 900 horsepower Dodge is going to be our benchmark for a lap time. I'm going to do 5 laps of the track. It's not too long of a track. I did give it practice with some other cars first, just so I could get the hang of the circuit. It is this one here that I can't even pronounce the name, in Castelletto. I've used it a couple of times before. I think when we did the Super Saloon things with the Lexus RCF, raced around this track. It is a very twisty track, quite a few hairpins for the cars to navigate, and they're going to have to be doing a lot of sort of putting power down in low gears out of slow corners, which when you have a car with this much power, they tend to struggle with. I'm hoping that the Charger isn't going to be too bad. And I say that, fingers crossed the Charger will be okay for 5 laps. I'm going to try and not stuff it in a wall somewhere. I will probably be spending a fair amount of time sideways, because this is, it's quite a lot of power in this car. We're not the most, shall we say, not the most sophisticated chassis of all time. I have got the roll cage upgrades and so on, but there's only so much that you can do. Right. The first couple of quarters here are sort of a bit more, there's sort of a bit more medium speed turns, and already we are getting very, very large amounts of oversteer. That's it's to be expected. Then we go across a crest, oh bloody hell, and then we're going to wiggle through the chicane and some more bumps. The Charger is having fun with the with the bumps. Dear God, there's quite a bit of airtime on this course with something like this. Bloody hell. Okay. We've survived half a lap and only scared ourselves for most of it. This really does not like the bumps. Jump on the road. Brakes are good. Bloody hell. The brakes are very good. For a £3,000 car, them brakes are not bad. That got stopped very quickly. Now we've got some more hairpins to deal with, and I'm guessing it'll be very easy to slide the car. I kind of got a little bit caught up between sliding and understeering with the way the road's cambered there. Okay, you've got to look out for that. Right, so you can carry a bit more speed into the first part than you think, but the second part here is a little bit tighter than it looks on the way in. Well, we might be flat out up there if we don't get very sideways. Now, we've got to keep an eye out on the bumps here. Ooh, okay, let's not taking that line. Forget taking the sensible line, we're just going yeah. It doesn't like me trying that one. It's about as ridiculous as you would expect, in all honesty. Although it's not quite floundering around as much as you would. I mean, it could be a lot worse. For a 900 horsepower rear drive car, it could be a lot worse. And that's those huge, great big rear tyres on here at work. We're going to get a big slide there, though. Well, we took out a lamppost. It's fine. Now, we can be careful through here. Oh, we're a bit out wide on the run-in. Hey, there we go. Yeah, I think we're going to have to take a slightly different line into that final corner. It's much like the hairpin at the Citadel circuit, where you've got to get the right line. Oh, slightly snagged the brake there. Got to get the right line into it, otherwise the car just gets really unhappy because of the banking there. Can we be flat? We can't be flat out up there. That was a foolish thing to try. It's going to have to be a little lift across there. I'm gonna take that line with all the cars, so we'll keep it fair on the lap time front. Now slow it down into this. I might have slowed it down a little bit too much. I mean, I'll be honest, this is not quite as ludicrous as I expected. I mean, it is sideways, yes, it will slide around, but it's not quite as silly. Okay, don't brake on the dirt there. We still got it stopped though. It's not quite as... I mean, it's very controllable if you do end up getting... I mean, to be fair, most cars on Horizon 2 are pretty damn controllable. If you get them going sideways, we've got around there a little bit better. Then all of the sideways on the exit. How are we doing lap time wise? 1 minute .324. Okay, let's try and get some good lap times now. Out of the Charger, as good a lap times as I can do. We're still sliding on the exit. Get the wheels off the dirt. We're going to have a little lift through there and kind of just a pause on the throttle as we go around the corner. It's really unhappy with the with the bumps and the sort of the change of directions on that crest. It doesn't like. And the brakes into down this corner. We can be okay down here. I might just leave it in third. Might be a good idea rather than downshift in there just to try and stop a little bit of wheel spin. Still quite a lot of wheel spin going on. I'm really impressed with how well it bloody stops. That's quite good and very, very useful on a course like this where there's lots of big braking zones. And again, make sure we keep it slowed down through here. Don't get carried away on the exits. If you want to drive this car sensibly, it can be driven relatively calmly, which is a strange thing to be saying about a 900 horsepower Charger, but it can be driven relatively calmly. I was just a little bit wonky on the line there. I'm going to have a lift on the way in to that one again. Not quite on the perfect. Got to be really careful with these bumps. We're going to... it's just... Oh, we do get airtime there, definitely. The rest of the course there, it's not actually getting airtime, I don't think. It's just sort of unloading the suspension. And then when it comes back down again, the car does not like it at all. I'm not sure if we're on for a better lap or not this time round. A couple of corners were a bit dodgy, but I was quicker through the chicane, I think. Oh, we're not stopping in time for that hairpin. And put the power down and slide our way out of the corner. It's fine. Keep it in third. Probably a safer option. Oh, there we go. Get it? Find sort of like the banking and let it carry the car around, and then run towards the line of 56.851. 56.851 is the target time set by the Charger. That's not too bad for a lap time, I don't think, on this course. Only had a couple of dings on the on the wall there. Now we're going to see if we can go quicker with our next. So, the first of the challenges to the Dodge's lap time is the Plymouth Cuda, and I'm very much a fan of muscle cars, as I'm sure regular viewers will be well aware of, so I was looking forward to having this car in the main game as well. I have to say, I think it looks fantastic. With the sort of the standard paint that it comes with, it looks very, very mean, and it definitely looks of the part, and it's got plenty of power to go with everything. We have got 1,000. Where's the telemetry? Is the telemetry going to come up? There we go. We've got 1,038 horsepower, I believe, we get from this, or around about that. There is an awful lot of power in this car. You can modify the engine, of course. That's how we got the power up. It starts off as an A-class car. You can do some modifications. It's still not a huge amount, which is yeah, okay. I haven't driven this car before with this much power. It is very, very quick. That's ludicrously fast, and many of the wheel spins. Yeah, engine-wise, we have got some upgrades. Not a huge amount to choose from, though. The turbos, of course, installed just to give it as much power as bloody possible. Over the supercharger, I believe the turbos will always give you more. That's the normal way that Forza works. I mean, we've got some engine parts, but it's not a huge amount. As far as handling goes, well, of course, we've got everything on all of these cars is going to be completely maxed out, so brakes and suspension and so on. The rally suspension, I don't exactly fancy rally suspension on these cars, so we can have the normal ones that I'm assuming are the equivalent of the race stuff. Weight reduction, well, we can drop it down to 3,300. It is heavier than the Charger, though. More power, yes, but it is a little bit heavier. Now, that may not necessarily be a bad thing. Having that little bit more weight can sometimes make a car a little bit more stable, a little bit more consistent, which can sometimes produce better lap times. So it is possible that it won't be too bad to drive. Tyre-wise, well, we're dealing with the same scenario as we had last time, with the race tyres on the car and the biggest tyre widths we can get. 345s on the rear. So we've got 140 more horsepower on exactly the same tyres with a slightly heavier car. It could be more wheel spinny with that bit more power, although the weight can also help stop a little bit of the wheel spin. So potentially it could be quite even with the Charger. We will just back out of all of this, and then we will go to the Rivals mode. Yes, I know what I'm doing. Somewhere over here. Rivals mode, and then we will see how the Cuda does. I think it should beat the Charger. I think it's... oh, that's S1 class. We don't want S1 class. I think that this could beat the Charger. It will probably be a little bit... It'll probably struggle a little bit more off the line. It may not quite change direction as well. The brakes could be a slight... With a little bit more weight, of course, the brakes could be a little bit of an issue on this vehicle. And maybe the sort of the crests and the bumps may throw it a little bit. I think it will go quicker than the Dodge when we get through the loading screen. Yeah, I'm not sure I'd like to drive this car in a storm. I wouldn't like to drive the Charger particularly in a storm either. They would be quite scary vehicles. Okay. We will get going with the Plymouth. There is all of the wheel spin. We're still spinning. Oh, spins all its way up to third, where it eventually finds grip, even with racing tyres. And the huge tyre width is all the way up to third. It'll carry on spinning. It would happily spin over the bumps. It's actually quite nice through that turn. That's not what I expected from the Cuda. Whoa, bumps are being problematic. We've slightly found ourselves in a field. We're like a rally car. We've gone and crashed into somebody's field. It's fine. We can carry on. Okay, the suspension is curious on this car. It feels very much as if the front of the car is almost lifting up through the turns. Kind of feels like we've got too soft a rear suspension on this car. Oh, we're not stopping. We're not anywhere near as good on the brakes as the Dodge. Nowhere near. Okay, we're going to have to be aware of that. And neat and tidy through here? No. But I tried to go on a little bit of power, and there was just wheel spin, and there is more wheel spin. Still feels as if the front of the car is coming up under heavy acceleration. I'm not sure I like the suspension so much on this vehicle. Oh dear, we're going towards a building. We don't have the grip. We do not have the grip through the turns whatsoever. There is just none of it, and then we go over the bumps and we feel like we're doing a wheelie. That's just sky. I would like to see the road. I don't really care about the sky. I kind of need to know where I'm going though. Oh dear, we've tipped that in with far too much speed. Well, we can just slide our way out of it. It's fine. I'm not sure it's going to be conducive for a good lap time, but you can get away with it. The suspension is so weird on this car. Oh, it brakes too... we just about got it stopped. The suspension is very curious. On this vehicle, it almost feels like a jelly car, partly. It moves around a lot. Like the Charger, whoa, no, get off there. The Charger, it didn't feel like that at all, but this is a little bit all over the place. It's not a bad... Oh, we're off again. It's not a bad first lap of 58.7, considering I was floundering around with the car. Oh, quick through there. It seems to be quicker through there, but it doesn't feel like it has as much grip out in other places. We're going to have to really attack the... Oh, no. Bad Cuda. Where are we going? We're Just a small bit of rallycross in a very powerful muscle car. Sure. I mean, what could possibly go wrong with doing that? Nothing. Nothing at all. Now, we're going to brake earlier with the Plymouth. That's better. Turn it in. Oh, almost clipped the wall on the inside that time. We got it on 2 wheels, apparently. Sure. And then we're going to slide through these final couple. Like, once the car starts sliding through one turn, especially if there's a sequence of them, that's all it wants to do. It just wants to go sideways everywhere. Okay, now we've got a couple of laps, a couple of quick laps coming up, hopefully, from the Plymouth. Oh, no, we'll just tip it in sideways. It's good fun. I like it. It's good fun to drive. It's maybe not so conducive for a quick lap time when it wants to slide more than the old Jaguar XFR. It really, I mean, it's a ridiculously overpowered vehicle. I expected it to be difficult to drive. I didn't expect it to be that much more difficult than the Charger, in all honesty. The Charger was really quite nice and tame for what it was. This is much more how I expected the Charger to be. We'll brake. I may have braked a little bit too early, but we have got it stopped at least for the first of these hairpins, and then we'll slide it all the way out. I think this has got longer gear ratios than the Charger as well, and we're struggling more. Oh, yes, there is 100 more horsepower, 140 more horsepower in this, but the Charger is still a lot of power. We're off the wall. 57.7. I'm not sure we're going to go quicker than the Dodge, you know. We don't have a particularly good run onto this lap, and I've now trying to push it as hard as I absolutely dare through these turns, and oh no, behave yourself, Plymouth. We're going this route. Oh good God, just I spent half my time not actually being able to see the road. That's how interesting the suspension is. Yes, we'll go with interesting. No, we're not going to make that turn at all. Oh, there's just not grip, no grip in the in the Plymouth. It's certainly an experience driving this car. I think I've outbraked myself into there as well, yeah. I can't get the braking point right for that corner. I either brake too early or go soaring off towards the buildings. And then we're going to be a little bit out of shape around these final corners. I don't think I'm on for a better lap anyway. Go on then. Cuda, what lap time are we going to get? Nope, still a 57.7. Not gone quicker with the Cuda. It's a handful. It really is an absolute handful to drive. The Charger was positively tame compared to the Cuda. Not quite what I expected, having just driven the Charger. Maybe closer to what you would expect from a 1,000 horsepower rear-wheel drive muscle car. Yeah, certainly a good fun challenge trying to keep this thing on the road. And our final challenger is the Toyota Supra, the most powerful car in Forza Horizon 2. It's got 1,450 horsepower. That is a lot. It's got over 1,000 torque as well. That is crazy horsepower figures, all in a rear-wheel drive car. Now, you would have noticed that the two vehicles that went beforehand, neither of them had any aero parts put on. The reason being is I did not want to change the appearance of this Supra, so to keep everything fair, none of the cars had aero parts on them. This vehicle, I have a sneaking suspicion, may be quite difficult to drive. I am quite scared of it. I have not driven this car as of yet. Apparently I can't get it going subtly. No, we don't really do subtle with the Supra. Literally, the driving it across there and driving it back now is all I've driven with this vehicle. I am terrified of it because that is a stupid amount of horsepower. It's just ludicrous amount, and all of it comes from the turbos, basically. With these, if you have the car without the turbos, it's 966 horsepower, 700 torque. It sounds about right for a highly modified Supra engine, there or thereabouts. When you stick on the turbos, it's 500 horsepower added. And what is it? Quite a lot of torque as well. 300 odd torque. They're ridiculous. I want these turbos on every car in the game. That would make some really interesting vehicles. Ludicrous turbos. The other thing that you might want to watch out for, you might want to notice here, look how little difference there is in PI between the normal and the race turbos. 9 PI difference. Now, this is a concern for me. Okay, well, yes, it adds huge amounts of power. The concern is that the car is going to have so much power that it's just going to waste all of it spinning the wheels and it's actually not going to be particularly fast. Again, we look at the 0 to 60 time of this car, 5 seconds to 60. With this much power, it should be much quicker. You would expect it to be sub 3 seconds. The fear is, it is just going to waste all of its time spinning the wheels. Now, the tyres that we have on the car, again, all the engine upgrades, all the parts that can be upgraded in this car have been, so all of these bits have been added to the vehicle and so on. The tyres themselves, the car starts off with the race tyres for the game. Tyre width is the same as the other vehicles, 345s on the rear. Now, yes, these are big tyres, but we're asking it to deal with a lot more power. We're actually doing like 500 more power than the Dodge did. So, exactly the same tyres, dealing with all of this power, could be slightly problematic, I suspect. I think we will have lots of sideways, just many of the sideways and not much of the going forwards. That's my expectation. Again, all of these parts here have been stuck on. Not only is it more powerful than the two muscle cars, it's also a hell of a lot lighter, 2,800 pounds. Yeah, concerns of control issues. That's while on paper this should be the fastest car here, no doubt it's 30 psi higher than the other two. It's whether it can deal with that power, whether it can be controlled enough. I don't know. I very highly doubt it can. Maybe. I'm not filled with confidence that I think we may have a very, very sideways Toyota through this thing. I'm going to try my very best to keep it under control. I'm not sure it's going to work. I mean, the Plymouth Cuda was quite a difficult car to drive for the city car builds I've had. We've had some really good ones with that sort of power. I mean, the Viper's quite easy to drive. BMW M1 was quite easy to drive. I could list off a whole stack of them. Chevy Monte Carlo, so on and so forth. Haven't been that bad to drive. The Cuda was quite a difficult one with the way the suspension acted. Admittedly, the suspension on the Supra should be better than we got on the muscle car, but we're still asking an awful lot of it with that much power and torque. I mean, this is more power than a Veyron and a Venom, and they were designed specifically for that much power. The Supra, while a good car I have no doubt, was never quite designed for 1,500 horsepower. Let's the wheel spin commence. I'm pressing the wrong button. Why am I doing that? Let the wheel spin commence. How long will we spin the wheels up for? We're into second. We're still spinning if we're flat out. Third, we're still spinning. The even the Plymouth had stopped spinning by that time, but okay, we've got round corner without falling off, and we've actually got half decent. Whoa, we've got decent grip when I'm, as you would expect from a for a much more sporty car than the muscle vehicles. When I'm not on power, we're okay. Fourth gear, I can be flat out. Dear God, this thing is ludicrously fast. If you just show it a brief bit of straight. Oh, careful now. And suddenly we're very far away from where we started. Look at this. The speed is incredible in this thing. And then we have to slow it down for a corner. And be very tentative with everything through these turns so that we don't slide it. Keep it calm, keep it calm. Attack everything. And it just fires down the straight and we get too much wheel spin. Okay, we can't quite go full throttle there. That's 160 something miles an hour before we get to the first turn, and that was with ludicrous wheel spin. Yeah, this thing is kind of insane. Oh no, we're gonna fall off the road. Whoa. Across the bumps it doesn't like. Through the chicane, we deal better with that than the not the Hemi Cuda, the normal Cuda did. Oh, and then on the brakes again. Just about to start. The brakes are good. Oh, carrying too much speed. It's so easy to carry more speed than you realise with this car. And all the wheel spin. Can't really fire it. That's 150 miles an hour again into this corner. You've just got to be so patient with it though, waiting and waiting and waiting to get on the throttle. Again, round this final corner. Oh, we're running a little bit wide. And you have to wait and wait and wait. I still can't go full throttle. More waiting. We're still going to wheel spin. Fourth gear, we should be good to go now. All of the warp speed. It's 170 miles an hour. There's not a throttle in this car. There is a warp speed button. And when you press it, you suddenly go into... It's just ludicrous acceleration on this track. But you do waste a lot of time, as kind of expected. Oh, we're in the field again. there may not be. I may have got that one a bit wrong. You waste so much time waiting and waiting and waiting to get on that throttle with it. Oh, bloody hell. I'm actually surprised by how easy it is in some respects to drive it sensibly. Like, I can keep this car quite easily under control. It doesn't take a huge amount to keep this thing under control. In some respects, it's easier to drive than the Cuda, because when you're being careful with the throttle, it's still a good sports car. When you're not being careful with the throttle, yes, it will be very sideways. We've got to wait again. Can we get 200 miles an hour down this straight, I wonder? If it wasn't bumpy, probably. No, we're going to have to slow down. I have no doubt in that small stretch we could do 200 miles an hour if it wasn't so bumpy. Because it's so bumpy, I'm having to wait longer and longer to get on the throttle and wasting too much time. Go sideways, no, fight for control, we're okay. Oh, across the bumps there. Now use the speed. Oh, that's a big amount of airtime. We're again up towards 160 miles an hour. Slow you down here, and then we wait. Then we very patiently wait. No, can't quite go full throttle there. Now we probably can, for the very briefest of moments before jumping on the brakes. I love this car. It is fantastically crazy. It's just so much speed that you can use so little of. Right. Oh, keep it. I'm amazed just how easy it is to keep this car under control when you're trying, again 170 towards this first corner, when you're trying to keep it behaved, you really can. And that's not what I expected at all. Oh, we're a little bit wide through there, wheel spinning over the crest is never a good thing. Lap time, we have just beaten the Charger, not by a huge amount though. That's not by a massive amount, and we're going to be all out of shape into this corner down here. Oh, nope, I think we may have been on for a better lap time, that one, that I've just binned in a wall, and then, well, no, that was too much power too soon. All of the wheel spin. This is just ridiculous. As I said, I really do quite like this car. It is fantastic with such ludicrous amounts of power. We're not really turning very well through here. And now the run towards the line. I don't think we're going to have gone quicker. We have not. It does beat the Charger, but only just. As I expected, trying to put the power down in this car is so difficult. You waste so much time just sat there waiting. When you do put the power down, it is just flies. But you wait an awful lot of time before you can use all of that power, put all the power on the road. So after surviving around the track, it is now time to take the Supra for a speed run down the motorway. I'm expecting some good things from this car. When we go into the tune car menu, look at the benchmark, it reckons top speed 71.9, 272. I've extended the gear ratios quite a lot because we will finish the speed run by going downhill. So I don't want it bouncing on the limiter as we're going downhill. So 273, 5 maybe even possible with this vehicle, potentially, if we don't hit anything. This is ridiculous speed. Admittedly, it's not quite as fast. I mean, it's not that much faster. It's around the same speed as a Hennessy Venom, and the Hennessy Venom has 200 odd less horsepower, but this is not the most aerodynamical shape in the world when it comes to the Supra. The acceleration, though, is going to be incredible, I suspect. Yeah, I mean, if you put this much power in a Lotus 11, I would love to be able to do that. I mean, that gets to 200 miles an hour with like 250 horsepower. Imagine what that could do with this much. This is still going to be very fast. I mean, we're doing 200, we're already 220. We're past what most most hypercars will be doing. We're past pretty much everything else in the world at this stage, and we've only just got into the first tunnel. That's just ridiculous. Oh, crossed the bump there. Nearly ended up in the back of a Golf. That's never good. We're going past. Oh, crap. It started raining. That's not what we want. We shall carry on. Oh, dear God. We're doing 250 miles an hour in the rain. Coming up towards a corner. I'm braking. We're going to slow down for this corner. There's not a hope in hell am I going to take that flat out in this. Keep going, car. I'm astounded with just how much rear-end grip there is in this. It started raining, and we're still behaving ourselves. That was so close. 250 miles an hour again into this tunnel. We've got to brake and slow it down for this corner. We'll slow it down quite a lot for that corner. Yeah, like the rear end doesn't let go. We do get some understeer from it. The back end remains firmly on the road, which is very useful for this speed running stuff. There is a big bump there that the car hit. We're 240 through this tunnel. It's quicker than a McLaren F1, and we're not even on the proper straight bits yet. We're weaving through a tunnel. There's traffic. We're 265 miles an hour through this tunnel, and now it's starting to get quite dark with the rain. This is going to add to the level of difficulty. I can't even see where the corner is. We are round it though. Not the ideal run onto this straight, no, but we are here now and absolutely flying with the Supra. 252 miles an hour up to 260. We're going to soon crack the 270 mile an hour mark. Can it go? Can it give much more than that? 71. I need it to go downhill. Gear ratios are a little too long for the car to be doing it on its own. 72, 72, 72. I think that's all it's going to give. 272 miles an hour, and we're going to have to slam on the brakes here. This is seriously fast. And it gets to 200, sort of getting past the 260 mile an hour mark, it sort of struggles with, but getting to 260 is just insanely fast. It's ludicrous. This vehicle. Yeah, the Supra, as you would expect, very, very fast in a straight line. And yeah, a good fun challenge to drive this. Even in the rain, we got it to 270 miles an hour and we didn't spin and point backwards at any point in the speed run, which is quite impressive. Anyway, that is it for this video, guys. Thank you very much for watching, and until next time, goodbye.